In the Netflix series The Crown, Carol Middleton, Kate's mother, is portrayed in a notably unflattering light, particularly concerning her involvement in Kate and Prince William's early courtship. According to the series, Carol is depicted as a strategic and somewhat intrusive figure, keenly orchestrating opportunities for Kate to be in proximity to Prince William, including influencing her decision on university choices and guiding her on how to present herself. In one of the scenes, Carol is shown advising Kate to wear dresses that highlight her figure to attract attention, particularly from William. These depictions have faced backlash, especially from Carol's brother, who criticized the show for these unflattering and, in his view, inaccurate portrayals. The controversy stems from broader speculations and accusations in the media over the years, suggesting Carol had been a pivotal figure in guiding Kate's path to joining the royal family. Folks, it's time to talk about the Middletons. Mainly, why since this whole missing Kate saga began, we haven't heard much from the Middleton clan. Why hasn't any journalist from the UK press made any effort to reach out to any of them regarding Kate? No interviews, no statements. It's been a few weeks now since this TMZ pap shot was splashed across the papers, claiming to be the first Kate sighting since her abdominal surgery. And folks, at this point, who knows if she really even had surgery? Maybe she did, I don't know. The point is, the press has gone to such extraordinary lengths to assist in the obvious cover-up that there's no telling what's real anymore. For all we know, the whole damn story could be a lie. But anyway, I find it intriguing that this article in the Independent about Carol being a quiet driving force still insists that this was Kate driving in the car with her mom. And I'm just trying to understand the cognitive dissonance necessary to make the claim that these are the same people. But they are still pushing that narrative, and all I can say is that in assisting William in this cover-up, they have lost the plot so much that they are just now defying credulity or reality for that matter, and they themselves don't seem to care anymore. I mean, I guess if the British public doesn't seem to care either. I mean, I have never seen anything like this. It's like the monarchy, the press, and the public are all sworn to secrecy, like a massive cult. And for what? To protect a dying institution? What exactly are these people doing for you? Nothing. So back to the Middletons, and particularly Carol. In 1987, Carol founded Party Pieces, a concept she came up with at her kitchen table when Kate's 5th birthday was coming up, and the story goes she couldn't find any suitable party supplies. Anyway, fast forward to 1996, and Party Pieces is now a supposedly successful enterprise, affording the Middletons a lifestyle to be able to afford to send off the Middleton girls to the prestigious Marlborough College. But was the company ever really profitable at all? The more you look into it, it seems it's been surviving through taking out massive loans for years, and then later on leveraging their connections with the royal family to back their debt, debt that was never paid. And this is what helped to create the facade of a successful, self-made upper-class family when William finally met Kate at St. Andrews. William became very close to his in-laws, no crime there, and Kate, being the daughter of a multi-millionaire family, seemed like a suitable match for a marriage to the heir to the throne. Had she been just regular working class Kate from the English Berkshire, would he even have had the opportunity to meet her? Would he even have been interested in marrying her at all? Well, that all depends, of course, on William and what his priorities are, because from all accounts, it is clear that William was under the impression that Kate was from a wealthy family, when in reality, they were just regular poors like everybody else. So anyway, everything came crashing down last year when all the debts came due and Carol was not able to pay, leaving scores of creditors and small business owners who were their suppliers and whose livelihoods depended on being paid out in the lurch. One of these small business owners was Sultani Gas, and they provided party pieces with helium. They were owed in excess of £20,000. They were reassured by Carol that they would be paid, but was left high and dry when the company went bust and sold for, get this, a measly £180,000. £180,000, guys. How do you go from claiming you are a profitable company worth over £30 million, then end up being sold for £180,000? Well, this just happened last year, and if you recall, this story was quite the sensation when it came out. And there was a whole slew of small business people like Sultani Gas that were left holding the bag despite promises from Carol that they would be paid, when the reality was that she simply could not pay because she did not have the money. It was even revealed that they owe £613,000 to the HMRC, which is the UK's version of the IRS, and that it was unlikely that she would ever pay that off, and so the taxpayers would have to foot the bill. And folks, this was happening all while they were living a life of luxury, parading themselves around as members of the moneyed class, purchasing a mansion, which, by the way, William actually helped them buy with the inheritance left to him from his mother, Princess Diana. But why not? Anything to impress his supposedly rich fiancé, right? So they're going around town acting like they're these well-off aristos, when in actuality, Carol was pulling off some kind of Ponzi scheme, shuffling around money and promising to pay everyone, but never doing so. So once the company went belly up and went into administration to be liquidated, creditors like Sultani Gas realized they were never going to get paid. So what did they do? Well, someone posted notices all over their little village, letting everyone know their discontent. James, the younger brother of Kate, who's also been the only one to make some kind of statement regarding her recent diagnosis announcement, well, he went around furiously ripping the posters off, and then the British press reported it as an uncalled for, malicious attack. But what did they expect these people to do? They were all assured by Carol that they were going to be paid. Then Party Pieces goes belly up while they're still living large, buying a £7 million, 18-acre estate. Meanwhile, their suppliers, like Sultani Gas, can't get their £20,000, and the British taxpayers have to foot their £600,000 tax bill. So, of course, these people saw no recourse to get their money back, so this was their way of getting their revenge. So, was it all an act? Was it all just a facade to get her daughters married off to the right people, thereby gaining entry into the upper echelons of society? It seems there's one person who they fooled, but when the truth about Party Pieces was unmasked, so was William. Suddenly, he realized he got duped. Sure, Kate was beautiful, but he thought he was marrying a girl in almost the same social standing as him. Now, for most people, I don't think they would be too bothered. I mean, if you love the person, who cares if she's really middle class or even working class? But not William. This is a man hell-bent on keeping up appearances. And so when the news of Party Pieces' collapse made its way around the world, he was embarrassed. And folks, by now, if there's one thing you should know about William, is that he doesn't like to be embarrassed. So soon after this, he began treating Kate horribly in public. The UK press tried to paint the picture of a happy marriage, but to observers, it became fairly apparent that there was trouble in paradise. It's at this same time, I believe, things really started breaking down quickly in their marriage, and I think that things became unbearable for Kate. And then Christmas came along, and well, you know the rest of the story. But folks, this is what's really been bothering me. Why hasn't her family said anything? No interviews, no press conferences, nothing. It's like they've just agreed to play along with Kensington Palace and the press's narratives. Even her sister Pippa seemed happy going on her vacation to a luxury resort weeks ago, seemingly unbothered. And call it the cynic in me, but I can't help but wonder if William hasn't bought their silence. Could he have put himself into such a precarious position with regard to his wife being missing that he is now vulnerable to blackmail? Because I just don't understand how this girl's family would be willing to sell her out like that. But when you consider the financial hole that they are or were in, and how desperate they seem to keep up this lifestyle of living above their apparent means by any means necessary, then you get to thinking, could they? Nah, they wouldn't. They couldn't. But could they? I mean, these are people clearly hooked on a certain lifestyle by now. I mean, being the mother of the future queen-to-be. And before you come at me with a privacy excuse, just stop right there and go no further, because that bullshit I refuse to buy. Look, if you were in an abusive relationship with a man for years, and it was well known that he was abusive, and then you disappeared, are you telling me that you wouldn't want anyone, no family, no friends, to ask questions about you or go looking for you? You would just say, oh, let my husband have his privacy. I'm not fucking buying it. And we also need to talk about the kids. because they haven't been seen since Christmas either. They didn't come out for Easter, and I have a feeling that they are being sequestered because little kids are going to let it be known that they haven't seen their mom. Now, there's a lot of speculation online that this is just about a divorce. Folks, please let this be just about a divorce. Please let Kate be okay, and that this is just about a divorce. Because you know what? Those little kids can handle a divorce. What they can't handle is their mother being gone. And so back now to the infamous pap shot. When TMZ published this weeks ago, they claimed Carol and Kate were doing school runs. But there are no photos, nothing proving this to be the case. William at the same time claimed that it was he who was doing school runs. But once again, there are no photos, no videos, no pap shots, no nothing. The children have in fact not been seen since Christmas. And I don't think they've been to school at all. But of course, the British press, participating in this massive cover-up, is claiming that both William and Kate have been doing school runs, and we have no photographic evidence of this happening. At all. None. And in fact, the last photo we've had of the kids was the now famous Franken photo that was all banned by all the major news publications for its lack of authenticity to the point where it was almost offensive. The photos of the kids all look to be cut out from different images altogether. And well, why bother to even revisit it when it's already been established by now to be a fraud? And so finally, for all the people out there that still think everything is perfectly normal and that this is exactly how normal people behave, I just have one question for you. Are you ready? Okay. Why was this woman, supposedly Kate, sitting calmly on a bench, speaking coherently, why was this woman not well enough to take a real Mother's Day photo with her kids? Don't you see something stinks to high heaven here? Let me ask the question again. Why wasn't this person who looks just fine, why wasn't this person able to pose for a Mother's Day photo with her children the other day? Why was it necessary to patch together a bunch of images and claim it was her and the kids taken recently? Why couldn't this person take a photo with her kids? Can someone answer that question for me, please, pretty please? And then, are we supposed to believe that it was Kate herself who is responsible for the editing disaster that ensued? Again, why go through all that trouble when, according to this video, she seems perfectly fine enough to snap a photo with her kids? If you happen to have a reasonable answer to that question, please let me know in the comments. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe, and I will stay on top of this story.